Hello everyone, this is White Wolf and we are going live, and I wanted to talk about always having a reason to live, knowing that there's always something to live for. And just because we go through things in our life and shifts and healing and integration and transmutation of energy does not mean that we are unworthy to live, and that there's always a worthiness here for us all. I want to let you all know that you're infinitely worthy, you're infinitely loved. And just because we get thrown curveballs within our life and a lot of changes and a lot of shifts in energy, shifts in vibration, and allowing ourselves to really be able to transmute that and integrate it, and to allow ourselves to not only have a humbling effect, but have grace and have upliftment of our ascension, and knowing that there's always way to improvise our empowerment, and knowing that every day is a new day, and that there's always a reason to live, and there's always a reason to shift into the next parallel reality, and that nothing is against you. Everything is rigged in our favor. It's just based on what we believe, how we feel, what we think about ourselves, and also how we want to project this love, this light onto this universe, to bring about awareness, to bring about change, and to also allow everybody to have the understanding that everyone here has a purposeful purpose, and that everybody has a purpose to spread their love, to spread their unity, and to know that we are all a soul tribe, and to know that nothing can come against us, nothing can stop us. We are limitless, and that there's endless possibilities in the realms of signs, miracles, and wonders, and confirmations, and following that breadcrumb trail of excitement, and always stepping out into faith, even though you feel like you're going to fall flat on your face. By stepping out in faith, you're trusting the divine, you're trusting your intuition. You know that you're listening, and you know that you're a recipient of energy, and that you're receiving, and then you're allowing yourself to expand upon that, but also to send out that loving vibration of love. You're allowing yourself to be a frequency vibration. You're allowing to emit that vibration, and you're allowing to live by your calling and what you've been called here to do, and what is your assignment and what is your mission. How do you want your portrait to look? How do you want your life to look like? Are you dreaming and soaking? But it's not just about soaking and dreaming and meditating, but it's really just about understanding that by tapping into this love, by going on this path, that you're going into the unknown. And when we are just so focused on what's familiar, we don't allow the new to come into our life. So we don't allow the new to expand within our life. We don't allow the shift to happen. We don't allow the change to happen. And I think the key is just to have a lot of allowance. I think allowance is very key. And to know that you don't have to be something, and you don't have to be somebody, but you just have to be the divine wants you to be. You just have to declare I am, and you don't have to say anything after that. So it's just allowing yourself to accentuate your energy, and to understand that you're made of source energy, and that everything is created out of nothing. So if we are created out of nothing, then we are the totality of every type of experience, of every type of appearance, of every type of energy. So it's just following your heart and following that desire, and allowing yourself to be led by your excitement. What excites you the most right now? What makes you feel most inspirational to do right now? What makes you want to live? What breathes life within to your life, and get out all of the stuff that breeds death within your life? And tapping into that negativity, tapping into that opposition, that distortion, that illusion. You're already living an illusion, so create the illusion that you want to be a part of. And I think it's very essential to know that there's always a reason to live, and it's just doing what you love, following your heart, and doing, at the end of the day, what you think is vibrationally sound. I don't believe you have to be perfect, but I do believe that you're here for a reason, and you're here to just follow what is laid out for you, and to explore, and to discover and to heal. So that's why there is self-realization. And that's why we're pushed to do things. And we have to change the routine sometimes, and we have to keep elevating the energy to the point where it becomes ridiculous, redundant, and irrelevant to stay within that mucky energy, within that low vibratory nature. So I think it's just really understanding that it's not just about how you go about it, or how you meditate, or what questions are you asking, but the very fact that you're daring to ask those questions, you're daring to make those aligned actions, but you're also very daring to act on faith. When everything tells you to be fearful, when everything tells you to doubt yourself, when everything tells you to not go on that cruise, or to not quit your job so you can have a different job, or starting a podcast, or anything like that in life, and it's just encouraging yourself, not discouraging yourself. So you don't want to feel like you're going through life making 2 steps forward and then 8 steps back. Now, I'm not saying that life doesn't have banana peels, and I don't think that we never experience curveballs, but I do believe they turn into lessons and catalysts and reflections to where we're able to see past it. And we realize that we are not crazy. So, and at the end of the day, it's understanding that you have a reason to live here. You have a reason to be here. And that you are chosen. So what are you choosing? So I think it's all about knowing that you have the realm of choice. You have the expansion to go upon. You have an outline. You have something to go on. And you're not just based on your thoughts. You're not just based on how you feel. But you're based in an energetic field. You're allowing yourself to be cosmic, to be divine, to be a part of your angelic presence, meaning that you're channeling the energy of the extraterrestrials. Angels know how to be in a million different places at once. Extraterrestrials know how to use their telepathy. But it's not just like reading minds, but it's connecting to that direct line of source and connecting to every aspect of reality. So the law of attraction does not happen when we don't subtract, and then we don't add, and then we allow ourselves to implement, and we actually allow ourselves to be fluid within our energy. There's a fluidity about how we're going about it. There's precision about it. And it's the idea before the intention. It's the energy that surrounds the excitement of going on that trip. So it's like, or saying to your partner that you love them when you haven't told them for a week and maybe you're having issues, but being the bigger person, or apologizing, or saying that I love you and I'm sorry. It takes a big person to own up and to be accountable and to see that it's not just about you, but it's about the greater union of the universe. And that's where we're all coming together. So I think it's lining out everything that is meant for you and following it to the point where you know that that's the choice to make. And everything that is meant for us will always happen in divine timing. And things happen because they happen by transcendent reason. So everything has a reason why it happens. So when we go about life and we feel like that it just doesn't have a course, it doesn't have reason, there's not a steady pace, that's a lie. Everything happens for a reason, and everything happens within the frame of your energy. And everything that is supposed to happen for you is supposed to propel you to be ready for it, to follow through on it, to see that maybe you don't have all the answers right now, maybe you don't have all the information, maybe you don't have all the details on how everything is going to be made manifest within your life, but that's okay. That's what's the beautiful thing is, because if you knew everything, you would just absolutely fuck it up. Because as human beings, we have the tendency, that's what happens to a lot of people when they become like young celebrities. They have the ability to really fuck up their life because everything is just handed to them, and then they go out and they just mess up. So you allow yourself to see that not everything is just handed to us. And I'm not just saying that you have to earn it, but there's just stages, there's waves of healing, there's a ripple effect within yourself, and there's also just clearing and shadow work, and also elevating the energy and having that transformation so that you go along the journey to where you're able to learn the lessons, you're able to learn the reflections, you're able to see that you're able to reverse those reflections, and you're also breaking a generational curse even. And you're also healing your past lifetimes. And you're also just combating the darkness that is on this planet. A lot of people don't know that, but that's what we're doing as light workers. And a lot of people, I see people on the feed who comment, and I'm just making an example, and they're being facetious, and it's okay. But it's really, that's the whole point of them commenting and making nasty comments, is that there's a reason why that person said that. They didn't say that for no reason, and God bless them, and I love you, and I respect your truth. But when people are commenting and saying nasty things, they're projecting about themselves. And that's what most human beings are doing. They're projecting their own vomit onto each other. If we started projecting and lifting each other up and wanting to assist one another, like Jake from State Farm, right? Because even though I know that's a commercial, but the point is that we're here to assist each other. We're not here to disrespect each other and give each other disdain and talk down to each other. So we're here to lift each other up. We're here to be brothers and sisters. And I do believe that a lot of us are having a prophetic nature, and we're coming more into balance of who we are and coming into more light and more empowerment, but also a discernment and a wisdom and understanding that we don't need to be jealous. We don't need to take anything, but we can receive everything. We can absolutely receive the blessing here and now and have a renewal. So, and I said this on my last slide, but I'm gonna say it again, like I had to take communion for 7 days and like drink water and eat a piece of bread and say a prayer. I'm not saying to do it in the way that Christians do it, and I'm not a Christian. I help people with meditation, enlightenment, and things of that nature. But every day that you meditate, that's what you're doing. You're showing gratitude for the divine. You're giving your heart and your life and your essence to becoming that divine source of energy. You're becoming that electromagnetic kinetic source energy. You're really allowing God to recognize itself again. The grounding effect is to, okay, I'm grounded, but I'm able to have high vibratory nature and discernment and wisdom and authority of a higher density of consciousness. So it's not grounding so we can just be in the third dimension, but it's allowing ourselves to channel the wisdom of our hidden realms within ourselves. So the higher self has its own realm. It's the absolute reality. So that's what we're trying to make within this infinite reality. And I've said this for years, that we've been here an infinite number of times. But for the very fact that we've had the veil of amnesia, and then we had before creation, and then after creation, as the light comes bursting through, and then the appearance of manifestation, and then the illusion that is created, that is God, allows everything to come in, and knowing that we picked and chose everything that we experienced, which led us to this very moment, to this very discussion, and understanding that we are not in the past, we are not even in the present, we're not even in the future, but we are the eternal now. We are now. So we can't be reminiscent of the past, because meditation allows us to have more depth and clarity that we are there simultaneously. That's what simultaneity is. So we are there all the time. It's kind of like the movie Midnight in Paris, where Owen Wilson would be at that one spot and then he would be in the 20s and be experiencing all of these great artists and authors and people who wrote books and like Hemingway and stuff like that. Well, that's here on this earth plane. So it's understanding the very fact that if you want to live your life, there's a person who lives their life as if it's 1950. Is that person a lunatic? No, they're not a fucking lunatic. They want to live their life in the essence, in the energy, in the channeled embodiment of Christ consciousness that sees fit within their reality. That's what they want to be. So, do you want to be the divine? Do you want to be source in human form? Do you want to manifest? Do you want to have prosperity? Do you want to love more? Do you want to be non-attached more? You know, I said this on my last live and I didn't get to keep it. I had to give a puppy away because we're moving in 5 or 6 months, and I know that I only had her for that period of time, but I enjoyed the interaction between that dog because that dog looked in my eyes and knew that it loved me and knew that I was with that dog and I was her father in another lifetime and she was my daughter in 120 lifetimes. So it's like we found each other again, but I had to have that brief time with her to show me things that I needed to learn how to take care like a puppy. And it was my first dog. I had dogs all my life, but it was my first dog. So there was a lesson and something to be learned there. And then, you know, today I had to give it away and I had to let her go and be with a family because I was just there for her start. I was just there for her start. And while it was very emotional all week because I didn't eat dinner for 3 days, that's how much it affected me. I didn't eat much. So it affected me, but it was something I needed to do and something that needed to happen within my journey. And having major clearings and just having a hellacious week because there's a new anointing, a newfound grace, transformation. And that's what happens to all of us. And if any light worker is on here, like saying that they never have periods where they wake up in the morning and you just don't feel good. It's okay not to feel good. It's okay to be triggered. It's okay to be angry. That is ushering you and getting you so many steps closer ahead of the game and ahead of the curve to get you to realize that we are not controlled by how we feel and what we think and what we're watching and what we're subjecting ourselves to. And it's not toxic positivity to be empowered. It's not toxic positivity. What's toxic is to put yourself down because then you're giving away to pity. You're putting yourself down. I used to be a very big pessimist in my life. I used to be very negative towards myself. When you're a pessimist, you're the biggest arrogant, self-loathing person because you're giving your power away to the very fact that you're not here to agree to disagree. You're not here for right or wrong. Because then that would mean that there's always something worth fighting for. But it's not a tug of war in life when you awaken anymore. The tug of war is done. But it's more of a fight of seeing that there's always a reason to live, and there's always something to live for, and there's always something to wake up to, and there's always a reason to be alive. Because there's people on this earth that don't want to be here, and I'm one of them. I truthfully don't like being on earth. And some of you who are listening right now don't like being here. But you chose to be here again to heal and transcend the human conditioning. And it's just really at the end of the day that you have to make the most of this brief human experience, because it can be bittersweet, but it can be sweet if you really just allow it to be absolutely amazing. But it's allowing, it's changing, it's subtracting, it's adding. And then different causes with different effects. And those are catchphrases I've said all these years. And some people are like, you're just talking about the same thing. I might be talking about the same thing, but it's an exactly different sentiment. And that's what you need to look forward to, is that you might go live, some of you might like be preaching to the choir, as some people say, but it's a different sentiment every time that you speak those words of wisdom that give heart healing activations. So I think at the end of the day, it's just being pure. It's just loving life. It's loving being here and making the most out of it. Because this could be your heaven or this could be your hell. That's the whole gist of this. So we have to take ourselves outside of our human experience so that we can have a God experience. We have to take ourselves outside of what we think and what we feel. And we have to completely be in that essence of source energy. Like I say, angelic presence, or your more extraterrestrial side, because that's what we're tapping into. That's why silence is key. If you are living a life, and I know because I worked at a golf course for 3 years, it can be loud, it can be a roar, it could be negativity coming at you left and right. Your mom or your dad or your ex-wife always bagging on you because you didn't do this and you didn't succeed that. But it's just a roar, and you have to learn how to ignore that roar. You have to learn how to ignore what is trying to come against you. You have to ignore what is breathing death, because that death is ego. But we have a purified ego as we're coming into. I'm not saying that we don't have ego, because we have to have a little bit of ego. But the ego I'm talking about is complacency, is restricting yourself, is putting others down, or thinking that you're so above everybody, because that's not being truthful and honest and humble. Some people think being humble is being weak, or being a nice person is weak, and that's not the case. But being true and being non-dual is really having that independence. You have independence because you have free will, and that you have the willingness to do good. You have the willingness to be the best that you can be right now. And everything is rigged in your favor. And it's just a matter of really acting upon it and seeing what is vibrationally in alignment with who you are. Because everything is energy. So you have to see yourself as a cosmic vortex, because you are the vortex that is creating everything. And sometimes you got to take things out of that vortex. Sometimes you have to clear house. This is your spiritual house, your temple of God that you are. So you have to treat yourself like a temple of God. I'm trying to see if my guides want me to say anything else, because I think I'm going to end there. But we're going to do a meditation. So if you want to be a part of the meditation, also I have YouTube channel, White Wolf the Oracle of Bloodline Wisdom, Instagram, whitewolf4741, BitChute, White Wolf the Oracle 23_@ like and share out as well. Also, if you want to be a part of this meditation that we're going to take part in, and also if you guys could let me know about the connection, because last time I went live, I wasn't able to save my video. So if you can let me know if the connection's great, that would be a godsend, because I like to keep my videos so that I can put it on YouTube and BitChute and stuff like that. So we're going to do a meditation about immersing ourselves out of the stage of saying I don't want to live to I have infinitely so many ways that I can live, that I can be a blessing, that I am the blessing, that I am love, and I am infinitely loved. So everybody take a deep breath. Exhale. So just know that you were picked by the divine. You were chosen. What you choose is up to you. It is the discernment It is laying out all of your options and knowing that you have that deep water horizon to allow you to tap into the river of God's source energy, so that you can tap into that aqua river flow of God's source energy, so that there is a fluidity and that there is motion, that there is consistency and persistence with your energy, but it's not a forcefulness. It's not a complacency. It's not a, I can't do this. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to live anymore. Because what we have here with meditation is that we have a death so that we can live once again, so that there can be a new beginning, so that there can be a new day, that there can be this cosmic communion with you and the Creator. That every day that you take this step, that you allow yourself to love deeper, that you allow yourself to receive even greater, to allow yourself to dream, and to have that childlike wonder of a child, to allow your vulnerabilities to be your strengths, to allow you to see your weaknesses so that you can empower it and transmute it and allow it to be part of your elevation. There's nobody like you. You are unique. You are beautiful. There is nothing that is of the likeness of you. And that's beautiful because you have your own path. You have your own way. You are your own God, in a sense. There is nothing that has ever been taken away from you that you cannot reclaim back now. Rather it was your innocence, rather it was trauma, rather it was being a pessimist, rather it was being bullied, whatever it may be, nothing was ever taken away from you so bad, and nothing was placed on your path that you were not able to have the strength to endure it, to persevere, to look in the face of adversity, and to know that it's not going to keep you down. Everything is rigged in your favor to be a part of this greater blessing. To know that you're here to empower others and that you're here to lead. But you're also here to show real compassion, to let go of all of your attachments, to let go fully. Letting go is the first part. To finally knowing yourself once again. Any of the lifetimes that you were not of the highest light, disregard that. Let that go. Anything that was from your past, that was not of you. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what happened. It doesn't matter, because today is where everything falls away that is not of the light, that is not of source energy. And your affirmation is that I am love, light, and wisdom. I am infinity. I am the beginning, and I am the beginning of the end. and see how good it feels to step into your faith, to step into who you are, and to not be afraid anymore. To be whole once again, to be renewed, to have a redo, and know that every day is one step closer to redemption. There's always a reason to live, there's always a reason to be alive, and there's too many reasons to not be empowered and equipped and anointed, and to just fall in love with the source of creation that you are, because that is breathing the abundance here, now, forevermore. It allows you to be the universe that is expanding. It allows you to be the flooded bank accounts. It allows you to be able to let go easily, to not be attached to people, places, and things. And know that you have the willingness to be free, and you have the willingness to do great things. I am the oracle of love, light, and wisdom. And I am God manifested in the human body. And so it is. So thank you all for tuning in to that meditation. I hope that really blessed you. And thank you all for listening. And thanks to all the people who watched, whether they liked it or not. And also go to my YouTube channel, whitewolftheoracle, Loveline Wisdom, Instagram, whitewolf4741, BitChute, whitewolftheoracle23_@ symbol. And also you can book private sessions with me. I'm White Wolf. I have a Cashapp and PayPal as well. So we can discuss all of that good stuff. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this live feed. And also let me know if the feed was cutting in and out, because last time I could not save my last live on my TikTok app. I couldn't save it. It had an error with the production, I guess. So I never know if these lives are going to stay. So I would love it if you guys would let me know if the connection's good or not. So thank you guys. Book private sessions. Also go to those places if you want to. This is White Wolf signing off. So it is. Thank you. God bless and namaste. Bye-bye.